Hello guys, Jeff here at Yakkitty Mack, and I am back on the water today, living large in my new Jackson Big Rig FD, and we're going to do an on the water review today. I'm going to talk about some features of this boat. I'm going to tell you all the things that I love, and then I'm going to see if I can find something that I don't. I'm going to be honest, that's going to be really difficult to do. So stay with me guys, and we're going to get started talking about how this boat performs on the water. All right, y'all, so I want to get into stability right off of the bat. It's something that the Big Rig is known for. So for those of you who do not follow the channel or you do not know, I am a non-swimmer. I cannot swim a lick. And I know I'm stupid. I'm in a kayak and I can't swim. I'm putting a lot of faith in this life jacket right here. But I love being out here, guys, and I'm not going to let the fact that I can't swim keep me from it. However, stability is crazy important to me. So I'm going to do something. I don't stand to fish. Right? I just don't. I can make the cast that I need to make sitting down. There are times when I'm flipping a jig that standing might make it easier for me, but controlling the kayak while you're standing is a little bit more difficult when you're not motorized, which I prefer not to be. So I'm going to stand up in this just to show you its stability and to show you that a non-swimmer can do so feeling comfortably. So I'm going to tilt the camera back here. And I'm just going to push myself up and stand up here. Here we go. I'm standing up very comfortably. I don't hesitate to stand in this thing at all. It's on a calm day, but even if there was a little bit of a chop on the water, I would still feel just as comfortable. Got my feet spread apart. I'm going to reach down here and grab a rod. And I'm actually going to make a cast. Let's try that again. I didn't get him up on top very quickly that time. There we go. That's mo better. So stability in this thing is just absolutely crazy. Now, in my Old Town 106, I never felt unstable. Never did at all. In fact, I felt quite comfortable in that boat. But the very first time I took out this Big Rig, I was absolutely amazed at how much more stable I felt. And again, I never felt unstable before, but you could really just tell a difference immediately. I also love the fact that there are no scupper holes up front. I don't have to worry about dropping things through the floor, but it also provides a bit more stability, I think, by not having scuppers up front, a little bit more buoyancy, if you will, and plus it makes for a much quieter ride. So from a stability standpoint, I just don't know that it's going to get a whole lot better than the Jackson Big Rig, and that's coming from somebody who is afraid to be in that water right there. And you saw how easily I just stood up. One of the things that drew me to the Jackson platform was the Mark IV Flex Drive. Having the ability to raise and lower the prop. I've got a handle right here. It's just so easy. I'm going to open this hatch door. I'm going to show you this right here. All right, here we go. Prop is up. So you can see, let me make sure I can see everything here in my camera. You can see just how easy it is to access this prop right here with this little hatch door. You want to lower the prop down. There we go. Prop is lowered. It's just that easy. So when you are in a really grassy area and you get something wrapped up into the prop, maybe you even get some fishing line unfortunately wrapped into your prop, it is so easy to clean it out. And what you do not have to do is increase the footprint up here in the cockpit. This never moves. It's just simply beneath the kayak, raises the prop up into the hull. You can clean it out and go. If you're going to fish said very grassy area, which I'm about to do here in just a little bit, just simply raise the prop up, grab your paddle, and you can paddle your way through there without having to worry about cleaning your prop every 10 seconds. I absolutely love that feature of the Flex Drive. So now let's talk about its efficiency. I'm going to put on my GPS here on my Garmin, and we're going to take off pedaling, and we're going to look at our speed. So it's a calm day, no real wind or any chop on the water or anything like that. So we'll take that into consideration as we take off pedaling. Now it does get a little bit to get it moving. It's a big old heavy kayak, but already we are up over 2 miles an hour, and I'm just kind of pedaling casual, kind of pedaling normal. We are now at 3.2, 3.3. And you can see here how I'm pedaling. I'm just pedaling casual, still able to talk to you, 3.5 miles an hour. So it is every bit as fast, if not a tad bit faster than my Old Town. Let's crank it and see what we can do. So I got up to 4.4. I was really having to crank it to do that too. That's not something that I'm going to do on the regular. I don't think anyone would be able to sustain that for very long. This is a big, heavy kayak, and to keep it moving at that pace is not going to be an easy task at all. But just normal, casual pedaling like what I'm doing right now. This right here is just a nice, easy pace, and I am at 2.7 miles an hour. If you want to get just a little bit more, now we've easily hit 3. So we're at 3 miles an hour. And then how about stopping? That's your instant reverse, guys. I'm able to stop right here on a dime. Little out of breath from from pedaling as hard as I was there a little bit. I will say there's a little bit more resistance in this pedal. It's a little bit tighter than my PDL unit from Old Town. Plus I'm pushing a much wider and heavier boat. So that is one difference that I've noticed, is that it's definitely a little bit tighter and definitely a little bit more to get her moving. But once she's rolling, she's rolling. So if I had to nitpick something on this kayak, I would say it's its turning radius, which I knew before I ever got it, that the turning radius was going to be an issue. It's a big, wide, long boat. It does not turn very sharp at all when you're in tight quarters, moving slower. The faster you move, the more responsive it is on the turning. But if you're in very tight quarters, a lot of times what I will do is I will turn the rudder in the direction that I want to go, and then I'll actually use my paddle to help spin myself around. It does not have an extremely tight turning radius, but I knew that going in, and it's not something that is even close to being a deal breaker for me. So how about comfort? Well, the seat is phenomenal. It's extremely comfortable. I have spent, the longest I spent one day in was almost 9 hours during a tournament last week. Never got uncomfortable at all. Never felt any back pain, any leg pain, anything of that sort. I've only used the seat in the high position. I don't anticipate ever using it in the low position. Very comfortable seat and very easily adjustable. I'm able, as you saw, I was able to stand with the seat just by pushing up on the seat. There is a strap up here where you, or a place for a strap if you want to put a stand assist strap. That could help you with standing up or sitting down if you think that's something that you're going to do on the regular. For me, it is not. How about accessibility? Am I able to access everything easily from the cockpit? And the answer there is yes. So I'll show you here. Let me grab this camera again. All right. So if I want to access the front hatch, I can simply come up here like so. Access the hatch. Even if I wanted to get inside the hull, now that's going to get, I'm going to have to get, scoop myself up further here into the cockpit to access down inside the hull if I wanted to, but I could do it. I don't want to do that now because I'm afraid I might drop my mic down into the water while I'm trying to talk to you guys. But easily accessible. How about accessing things in the back? Very easy. And the stability of this kayak really aids in that as well. So as you can see, I can completely turn sideways here in the seat if I wanted to, access anything I wanted to in the back, my tackle boxes, my net, my cup of Morning Joe. I definitely want to access that right about now. That's good stuff right there. Access my cooler back here if I wanted to. Anything that you need to get to, you can easily access. The rod storage on the side, very easy to access as well. The paddle being able to be stored up top is very accessible. Let me put my lure back on here, and I'm going to stow my rod away. Very easy to do. Paddle is easy to access just like that. And one of the things that I like about the seat position in this is that I kind of enjoy using a paddle sometimes when I get up into really tight spots. I like raising the prop up and using the paddle because it just kind of allows me to position myself a little bit more precisely. And the seat position really kind of forms this nice cradle here in your lap where you set the paddle on, and it never feels unbalanced. In the Old Town, when I would try to do that, it always felt like the paddle was going to fall off one side or the other because of the way the seat was positioned. But here, the way my knees are sitting up, the way like this, the way they are with my feet flat on the bottom of the surface, it really kind of forms this nice cradle here for putting the paddle in and being able to work the paddle as I need to. I can set it there and I can even make casts, which I often do. Or I should say I often have in the first few times that I've used this when I get into some tight spots like where I'm heading right now. Okay guys, so let's talk about tight spots. As you see right here, this really narrows up. I've got a canopy of trees above me. I've got limbs that are sticking out here next to the side of me. And this is where the horizontal rod holders really are fantastic, because I don't have to worry about breaking a rod or catching a rod on something. I don't have rods sticking up behind me. The tallest thing I got behind me is my camera here. And so having my rods stored horizontally like this, and it really, I don't know, yeah, you should be able to see that. You can see where it really narrows up right here in front of me. Not a problem at all. If I want to go through that, which I will here in just a moment, I'm able to go through it. I don't have to worry at all about catching any of my rods or breaking them off or having them fall into the water. In fact, I'm so confident now in my ability to keep them with me. I've taken the floats off of the rods. I do not tether them. I hate tethering things. I hate the cords bouncing all over the place or pulling or catching on things. I only tether like maybe my pliers and my fish grips, and I think that's about it. I don't tether my catch board. I have made it so it will float. And so being able to get into areas like this and not have to worry about my rods, this is something that used to bother me on the Old Town. Getting in an area like this, throwing a jig, which this is like a great place to throw a jig, and if I get hung up, I'm going to have to go under a bunch of limbs to get it. And that always sometimes kept me from even throwing into spots that I wanted to throw into because of the hassle that it was going to be, especially if it's windy and it's blowing you around. The hassle of catching those rods was something that I would just kind of avoid. And now I don't have to anymore. I love that feature. This area looks too good to pass up. I'm going to make a couple of casts right here. Well, there was nothing happening over there. It just looked too good to pass up. But these are the tight quarters that I'm talking about, where it's really nice just to grab a paddle and turn myself around. Because of the wide turning radius of this is just more efficient to do. So with just 2 or 3 strokes, I'm able to turn myself around rather easily and head back out to a different part of the lake. At 13 feet 3 inches long, this is a big kayak. And one of the things that's really nice about it is that the majority of your space is from the seat forward. While it's got a nice tank well in it and it's got the back storage hatch, a lot of the openness and a lot of the space is from the seat forward. I have so much room. Let me show you how much leg room I have in this thing. Grab my back camera again. I mean, look at this, guys. My feet, I'm 5'11", and you can see where I've got my seat positioned here pretty close to all the way up. And look at this. I can't even reach out and touch the front of the kayak. From a width perspective, man, it is plenty wide. Nice space in the floorboard area of the cockpit. And the pedal unit is not intrusive at all. It's just not. There's so much space in here that it doesn't take up a lot of room. So if feeling organized and spacious and open is important to you, and sitting up kind of high, it does sit up nice and high. I find casting to be extremely easy in this thing. Now I know, it's easy when you've got a kayak to want to talk about all the wonderful things about the kayak because it's the one that you have. Honestly, guys, that's not why I'm in love with this thing so much. I did my research prior to choosing a new kayak. And when you're talking about checking the boxes and you're talking about features and you're talking about things of like, what am I looking for? This kayak just checks all those boxes, and it did not disappoint upon delivery. I can see myself in this kayak for years and years. Jackson, you screwed up. You made me the perfect kayak. I don't know that I'll be spending any more money with you anytime soon. Maybe some accessories. Guys, if you've got any questions, let me know. I hope this on the water review seals the deal for those of you who are on the fence, or I know there's a couple of you out there that have ordered yours and are expecting it to arrive. Hopefully this is just a little bit of candy to hold you over until you can get out and play on your own. An absolutely fantastic platform. Shame on all the content creators out there who are not taking the time to get to know Jackson. Shame on all those who look at things like the rod trough and think, well, yeah, but what have they done lately? What do you mean lately? They've had rod troughs for years, and the rest of the industry still hasn't caught up to them yet. The horizontal rod storage on other kayak is pathetic compared to these rod troughs. How about the flex drive? Now, I know the first generation had a few quality issues, but those seem to be fixed now. The entire pedal industry of the pedal kayaks, the rest of the manufacturers still haven't caught up to something as cool as the flex drive. So all this nonsense about what have you done for me lately, well, it's just nonsense. And the content creators are on to the next shiny thing because, well, that's the golden goose, right? Well, I don't have a goose. I'm just giving it to you straight up and for the money. I don't know that there's a better kayak out there than the Big Rig FD. Now, maybe if you're going to be fishing big open water, maybe the NAR. I've seen some pretty cool videos on the NAR as well, but I tend to fish slow-moving rivers, creeks, and lakes, and to me, there's just not a better option out there than the Big Rig. Thank you guys very much for watching. I do appreciate you. I'm going to do a little fishing today, and who knows, if I get lucky, I'll share some of that footage with you. Do me a favor, please. Hit that thumbs up, that like button for me. Become a subscriber if you're not a subscriber. Would love to have you as part of the Yakkitty Mack family. Leave me a comment, guys, and share this video if you feel so inclined. And look, no matter what you've got going on in your life, I hope you'll always take some time to get outside and play.